Hello everyone, another trip and another adventure. So here we're going to conquer the highest peak of County Kilkenny. Yes? Yes! And the name of the hill or mountain, I don't know, 500 meters, the peak is, it's called Brandon Mountain.
Brandon Hill.
Sorry, Brandon Hill, so it's not even a mountain, but whatever. And we are in Tipperary. Hello, we are in front of the ruins and I have something to say, but please do not worry, oh it's fine. When we were driving, leaving the roundabout, someone just bumped into us and now we're checking the damage. Nothing happened. I was a little bit in like, woo, shock, but hopefully that person, you know, things happen. So over here is the damage, and the only thing is now we can't open this and we have our staff in there, so we have to push it down to have access to this thing. Luckily we had this that it secured, so just saying from that perspective in regard road safety in Ireland is completely different. In case you have a car accident in Ireland than for instance in Poland, completely different. If you're interested to hear about that, what the procedure is, let me know. I can definitely tell you and update you, and I think it's quite an interesting information to know in case you would want to come into Ireland and you know, rent a car and just be prepared what you need, what kind of information you need. The Gardaí came over, and so Gardaí in Ireland, it's police, the one person, and she took details, but just to be sure that everything is done. It's slightly different than in Poland. Gardaí takes, they have authority and they take full report in regards to the accident. In Ireland, they don't. The insurance companies follow everything. So just saying, we shall see how that goes. Yeah, so Seb is trying to figure out how we can get to this. Meanwhile, let me show you this beautiful... Exactly. So check it out. I think it was an old church and we have still a graveyard. Check how beautiful view. Hopefully my camera is okay, but I think it's blurry. Right, so I presume they knew that they shouldn't put the trees next to the buildings because the roots may damage the construction or fundaments or whatever they kind of gathered around. They probably didn't have fundaments over here, but still. And yeah. Seb is thinking how to fix it, at least temporary, because we don't have tools. He found something like this. So yeah, so what is step next, maybe you're asking? The person said that they're going to call their insurance companies, because basically in Ireland it goes for the on the insurance company of the person who's guilty of the accident. So he promised us to text us that when he does it, so we don't have to do it, because you know it's better for a person to ring their own. Yeah. Otherwise we would have to call his insurance companies. We don't call ours. Well, I thought it would be easy to move it, but it's not as simple as it looks. Yike. Doesn't budge. I don't want to. Well, you can't one way, you can another way. Yay! Well, so we can't do anything about that. But we were able to get from the bed to access the back. But, ooh, it's solid. So yeah, the thought was this. It's a brilliant idea because otherwise we would have bigger damage and the person would have bigger costs. Well, hopefully it's just this thing and this thing to replace. Yeah, but I think without this, we would have all the back destroyed. So life happens and yeah, but no worries, we're fine. So I asked Seb what that metal thing on the back just between the bumper and the hook does. Apparently if we would want to tow something, it will secure in case you put something on the top of the hook by moving and damaging your car. But now when I think of it, not everyone has it. So we're going on the right, heading to our destination. And if you want to see us climbing and stuff like that, I've decided that I will not be taking any footage during those challenging events for me going up the hill, but Seb has a camera and he will be recording it, and I'm going to link at the end his channel, so if you were interested to see how I struggle, I would recommend you to go and subscribe to his channel. And I was thinking about the accident, and maybe just to let you know how it works over here and how it works in Poland from perspective of how we hear that it happens in Poland. Maybe it has changed because, you know, we haven't lived there for a while. But according to our knowledge, if you have accident in Poland, two policemen are coming up. Both of them, they have a form to fill in. They do it separately. They interview both sides separately. And then those two policemen, they gather together and see what they missed or whatever, and they fill in their own one form from those two estimates that they had. They decide who is guilty and fault, and then with that paper they go to the both parties and inform them about their decision. And on the day they decide, yes, I agree with that, or I don't agree with that. So basically, once on the time that it happened, those policemen ask you, what is your story? You sign the papers, and that's that. So basically, there's no, I don't think there is a court involved then, unless you do disagree, and then I think goes then to the next section. But you go to the court. Second of all, they also check, did you drink, and they also give you a fine, because obviously if the accident occurred, someone broke the rules. Well, we don't have that in Ireland. Like I said, there's only one person came over. They just check the vehicles from perspective of outside. Oh yeah, and I think also the policemen in Poland, they go inside the cars and they check, do they work? So do you have your lights on? Can they work? Then they basically check the state of the car, and if they decide that the car cannot be used, then they arrange the, all the procedures for you to kind of get home and get the car be towed or whatever like that. So yeah, and also they also check your state of the situation in case you had previous accidents and the points that you gathered, because in Poland you gathered points, and if you have more than you should, then they take your license and basically you can continue driving. Over here, no, like I said, one guard came over. As she said, they're not involved whatsoever. Over here is insurance companies, and basically they are deciding. So yeah, what's the story? And either the insurance companies between themselves and obviously the people that take part agree with each other what the truth was. If they don't, the final step is to go to the court, and it can, so that's a difference. That's a big difference that we find in Ireland. And just to be aware, even in Ireland, they recommend you to have a camera with you if you're driving, because you can take photos of the accident. Guards do not do that. In Poland, guards will take footage, and the only footage that guard took is what you call it in the case. What you call it? It's a proof, huh? Yeah, their report counts and their pictures count. Even if I took a picture, my picture will not be equivalent, because I could take a photo from the angle that it's more suitable for me, not for situation, and so on and so on. So yeah, so that's what we know. Obviously those information will need to be checked, because things could have changed in Poland, but yeah, just to be aware. So I don't know, if you don't mind to write down below how it looks in your country. Hopefully you didn't have to go through it. Obviously the paperwork over here in Ireland may take even 1 to 3 years, or even more. Yeah, so let me know down below. I'm very interested. It'll be very good to hear from you in case we would want to travel abroad and to other countries, and how it looked from that perspective. So thank you so much. And if you're watching and you would want to go somewhere, maybe someone wrote down some information that will be very helpful. So yeah, so if you compare the insurance policies, for instance, from Poland to Ireland, this is a big difference from perspective of finance. As I mentioned, the two insurance companies are deciding the amount and everything like that. Obviously lawyers take part in there too, so they would want to probably have their percentage or something like that. So they're very big quotes sometimes. Yeah, so then obviously if insurance has to pay so much money, someone else has to bring that money on the table, and then that has to be spread through the people who are insured in whole Ireland. So you know, it's a circle. It's not only one case, it's everyone's case. So that's that. In Poland, as I said, it's quicker. It's decision on the road by police. If you don't agree with police, you go to court. So I think it's way quicker decisions, and you know, less stress overall with the whole situation anyway. So one information that I also heard, and I heard that from a person, is so we had a situation when we had Land Rover Discovery car before we had this car, and in Ireland the registration, or maybe, I don't know, am I explaining right, the number of the car, it's followed by the chassis in Ireland. In Poland by the engine. So basically if you change the engine in Poland, then you have different car, but not in Ireland. So the chassis per se has its natural numbers, and they're kind of engraved there, and because Ireland is wet and so on, our number get kind of faded. So we had to have it approved by other organization, and it's kind of higher than Gardaí, and we had to arrange a meeting and so on. So we met a person, and I remember when I was trying to get through that person, he was very busy, because they explained to me that the position that person holds is so when there's an accident on Irish roads and involves that someone dies, unfortunately, then that person, or that, you know, that occupation or title, whatever, then the other police deals with that, and they decide, I think, in that case. I don't know, just check that, but that could be a case too. So apologies for the topic, just in case, yeah, life happens, and hopefully now I will continue with the day and show you beautiful views, and yeah, kind of excited to climb up the mountain. Okay, please don't judge me, but I think I'm going to introduce new fashion. Because I love my socks and it's warm, I want to wear them, and I want my feet to breathe too. So let me know, what do you think about this? Okay, this is how it looks, but the difficulty is that, as you can read, there's no access to toilets. Luckily we have a toilet in our car, so it's not a problem for us, but we're just wondering what other people do. So yeah, let's see this beautiful building. Now, I was certain that we're going to pay something, because sometimes to see something like this you would have to pay some fee, like €5 or €3, but no, and I got information, so I read it, because probably you don't want to, and maybe I'll be able to give you a few points what that is. So now monks lived here in the 12th century. Either it was built in the 12th century or it was actually in operation, but it's an abbey and the monks lived there, and nearby there's a river called Arrigal. I haven't seen the river yet. So according to this information, in the 12th century there were 36 monks and 50 lay brothers with the 20,000 acres of land. They're normally trying to find an area that they have wood, so wooden area, and river, and some sandstone quarry. I don't know what that is, so I would need to Google and translate that, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. The whole complex, so I presume that 20,000 acres of land was surrounded by 2 walls. I don't know, can you kind of imagine 20,000 acres? How many soccer pitches would that cover? That's my question. Who can answer that? Who's good at math? So we started from the back and now we're going into the front, and it looks amazing. It has like a square and stuff, so let me show you now what things are. And looking over here, and I know I shouldn't be complaining, but it's amazing. You have to come over here. So let's go and see that square. Do you see those 3 things? So the first one is sacristy, then it's this chapter house, and then it's Pure's house. Dormitories are just behind that wall. So now you probably won't be able to see it, but I think somewhere over there was a room that there was a fire during the winter, and according to this sheet it says that that was the only fire in this whole building, Abbey, that it was maintained through the winter. So that means that we're very cold, I think. And over there was brothers, and those who were, you know, having labor and gardening apparently. To this information, isn't it? A manual and agriculture work they were doing, so they lived over that. So not behind me, that's monks, somewhere that area. Wow, this is amazing that you can still see those things. Is it Adam and Eve and a snake? Who knows? Do you see it? This is unbelievable. Wow, amazing. I would say definitely come into County Kilkenny, and I will put a playlist down below because we were in the Kilkenny town, I think that's the name, and they had a beautiful, beautiful, I would call it palace, castle, but it's really nice. So yeah, there's something to see in Kilkenny, and we haven't even conquered the highest peak yet. Okay, isn't the proposition what to do, where to go? Kilkenny Castle, that's where we were, so check down below. Just in case you want to look through, it is Thomastown. We just passed it, but it was beautiful, and you could have few places that you could eat something, and they have old surroundings, let's say it that way. Many things to see and visit. And we have a river, and I think that is Argyll River. It kind of rhymes with Errigal. And Errigal Mountain is the highest mountain in County Donegal. Yes, I'm having yes from Seb. So Errigal is a mountain, and here is Argyll, and it's a river. Do you want to see our mountain? This is the one. But as you can see, there are a few more over here.
A tamten z tą wieżą kiedyś tam byliśmy, to było antyk czy jakieś inne kawa.
And Seb says that this mountain over here is in a different county, and we've already been there and conquered that. So Seb says County Cavan. I hope I'm saying it right. Anyway, I could be wrong, but anyway, check playlists. Check how beautiful it is. I hope you can see those shadows on those fields like I can. Seb said because of the positioning of this county, they have a warmer summers but colder winters. But thanks to that, they can have a wheat fields. We are in the town that I'm hoping to maybe show you the map because I can't pronounce it. But Seb spot a sign, a brown one, which said woolen meals somewhere. I don't know. Well, we just passed the Brandon Hill camping site, which is it's like under the mountain. But because of the COVID, you have to book at least 2 nights, and that's too much for us. So we basically just park and we'll go up and we'll go back home. So yay. Seb said we have other plans tomorrow, and apparently we're going to go on the top of another hill somewhere. And here is our mountain. Well, hill. Yeah, so I'm going to take my pullover just in case it gets cold, and this is nice and cozy wood woolen thing, and from Knit Crate yarn. So as you can see, you can mix few yarns together and you can have a garment. I'm going to take a hat, and I have, I think, Scottish Land with me, and what else I have mittens, the free pattern, and I have a shawl, and I have Wild Bloom shawl, but the version for the pattern is for worsted, but I knitted the second one, and I used a fingering and just one skein, so that's that. Just in case you glimpse some knitwear over that in Seb's video. So I see you back after our climb, hike, walk, whichever you want to call it. Check my patterns, links down below. Yes, so I'm ready to rock. Now, so my watch is on and we're heading. I see you back and suggest to go to Seb's channel and see how did it go, because probably it is a past tense now. Okay, he's not here, but do me a favor and comment under his video asking him what does he has in his backpack, because mine is a little one, jacket, hat, mittens, apple, water, you know, my wallet and stuff, you know. And I have, just in case, for my camera, that's it. But what does he have? That's interesting. Shh. Okay, so we finished. Took us an hour to go up. It's 3.5 kilometers. I had 160 on my watch and Seb had 80. Just saying, doubled it up. It took us, I think, definitely less to go down. Maybe 40 minutes, but we stopped to kind of have and pick up the berries. And Seb was recognized by someone going up. So that was really nice. So I would say if they get to the top, you can take a family with you. You know, kids can definitely go there. So that was nice. Now we're going back home. Although we both have a very huge urge to maybe find a place with the fish and chips stuff, but obviously now it'll be a little bit hard to do, but we shall see how that goes. Other than that, we go back home and enjoy the rest of the day. So thank you so much for spending some time with us. We're heading home and hopefully maybe I'll finish this up. So until the next one, bye.